the popular champions, the champions that fit the game the best currently. He was going to pretty much dive straight into the champions that play the game best and just build his game around that. I think a big part of that is why, k1llsen, like many other people, was using this tried and true composition. And, SpermatroN as well, the exact same kind of thing. You can see there's the Nyx, there's the Sorlag, but for the first time today, the k1llsen gets picked. So actually pretty interesting, hopefully. We should see something cool there.
Something slightly different. That's always nice to see, even though there is that sort of tried and true, I suppose, consistent 3-pick lineup. That doesn't mean you have to stick to it. There's a good reason players do. Obviously, you need to do what you think is strong. You need to play what you think is what you need to win. But we do see players every now and then sort of break that mold and do a little bit of other picks here and in between. And obviously, we're going to be on Corrupted Keep for that first map. We've already seen k1llsen can be really good on this map, particularly considering the totems, and that teleporting is basically mandatory on this map. If you want to get the lightning gun, you've got to teleport for it. If you want to get the get away from heavy armor, if you're being chased, you basically have to teleport for it. You kind of have to use those to put yourself in a not so bad situation. And all of a sudden, there's a k1llsen. Can't really do that without taking damage, especially in this current lineup of the game, where 2 of the 3 champions that always get picked will die to a k1llsen teleporter by itself if they don't have any armor.
At the same time, one huge thing here is that k1llsen does play k1llsen too, particularly on some of those maps where she really is sort of cool to be used. So he's going to be aware and wary about some of these options. But just remind you guys at home for another time, losers bracket action. Whoever loses this series is out of the tournament. And the winner, well, they haven't qualified by any means, but they're going to be one step closer, that's for sure.
That's ultimately what they need, but Corrupted Keep, we've already seen this is a supremely aggressive map. It has the potential to be over very quickly, so we'll see what happens here. Any second could take it, and there we go, first blood. Actually looked like all that acid and the shotgun. That was one dead champion regardless.
I mean, that was just take out Anarchy as quickly as possible, leave no shred of him alive, and get that champion lead as early as possible.
So though, good start from SpermatroN. It's going to take out the Anarchy from k1llsen, that we know is definitely one of his stronger champions. So nice to undo that immediately. And he's going to know that k1llsen only just respawns, so he doesn't have access to too much yet. Has k1llsen even got a rocket on Sorlag yet? I don't think he's been near it at the moment. He probably has a lightning gun at the very least. Also rocking that QuakeCon lightning gun. I think k1llsen's the only player that I've seen consistently use that in competitive games.
Well, I mean, it's a celebration, right?
That sweet orange.
Oh, no, he's got one too. There you go.
They both got one. Well, how about that?
What map for that?
Lightning guns will be orange for the entire series.
Well, I feel like besides that one early champion lead, it's been very much the same. They're both really sort of doing the same kind of thing. Consistently staying on the same health and armor
like
too.
Exact damage to each other. Almost. It's like a little bit too early. Timing on this heavy armor so far has been sitting here for quite a while. So they have to give up mega health, and still k1llsen was sitting there ready and waiting. He's going to get the mega health. I think SpermatroN making it a little bit too early to that heavy armor has kind of put him on the back foot a little bit in terms of map control.
Oh, there's the damage though.
Say map control won't mean too much if you have 2 champions in the lead. Oh, he just take a lot of damage there, and k1llsen now on this lone Nyx, and the Ghost Walk is already popped. k1llsen's going to have to be very careful, but he's still chasing the frag.
I love the fact that k1llsen used that to aggress. The problem is he wasn't really able to seal it. This early on, when you're 2 champions down, you kind of really need to make something happen. The longer you go, the longer you're just going to give the opponent a chance to just get that health and armor back up to where they want it to be. Yeah, and once they reach that point, the comeback is so hard to pull off.
I can see it being quite difficult for k1llsen at this point, to be honest. I mean, we know that SpermatroN has that mega health on the go. 2 champions in the lead, approaching the halfway point. I mean, everything's kind of just pointing into or away from k1llsen at this point in this first round. At least it is just the first round so far, at the very least. So I know it says 1 map advantage to k1llsen, but it is in fact the first, so that is actually 0-0. So we are in the first map of the game so far. It does make this the first round, so plenty of room for mistakes if they happen.
I mean, k1llsen's trying to stay on top of him, and I think it does go back to what we just discussed, where it's like, if you allow them to sort of survive, and there's the aggressive Ghost Walk. There was no way Tron was ready for that one.
It was the aggressive Ghost Walk into the heavy armor being up. This actually could be the start of a turning point for k1llsen. He gets the heavy armor. I mean, if he can catch SpermatroN now before he can stock up on weapons, this could be very good for him to make a comeback.
He's taken the mega too. I mean, because this is a mirror match, he just simply has more health and more armor. If they fight now, he has the advantage. It's as simple as that. But I think SpermatroN, he's going to be really patient here. He's going to really try and let that health and armor just disappear naturally. Here comes the fight.
They both Ghost Walk there? Looked like it. Yeah, they did.
They did
at
indeed.
the same time. If k1llsen can find him now, that is going to be huge. They're sort of playing around this teleporter right now. k1llsen has to be careful. 8 health left. This is his last champion. If he dies now, he loses the round. SpermatroN very low. Mega health. That's huge for k1llsen.
Oh! That rocket almost connected cleanly. I'm actually surprised SpermatroN took the long way round. I was really expecting him to try and head off k1llsen and prevent him from taking that Mega, but I think he actually went for the safe approach.
Still, though, the fact that SpermatroN has armor here is going to get a lot better for him. There's that big
100 damage! And he can follow SpermatroN through as well. There's the reaction Ghost Walk to stay alive for just a little bit longer. But even with
heavy
that
armor. Wow, yeah, heavy armor is going to do anything if you don't have any health to sponge it up as well. But that's going to put him down to the final champion. This is a full comeback from k1llsen. I'm not going to lie, I thought this was going to be over. Apparently not. Oh, hang on a minute though, k1llsen getting quite low, but SpermatroN even lower.
Oh, almost near that totem right there. That would have been an unfortunate way to end a round, to just put a foot in that by mistake.
But now k1llsen's going to have to be very careful with running around tight corners, using teleporters, because k1llsen's in play. All of a sudden it's a lot more dangerous.
I mean, those really quick escapes, when you don't have much time to think about where you want to go, you just kind of have to just dedicate to a corner or dedicate to a corridor. If you go too fast, you'll fly straight into a totem and take that 75 damage. And I mean, that's her max health, right?
Sudden death.
Indeed.
Sudden death.
Still, though, when he's got that big stack from Mega Health, even heavy armor to sponge some of it, totems aren't as much of a threat, but still, respectable damage.
You can see the change of pace, how k1llsen's really sort of somewhat slowed things down. He's not being as sort of on the hunt as he was before, because now, you know, they've got that 1-1 situation. He doesn't necessarily need to push as heavily, but he did notice how much damage he's just done. Oh no, the floor is lava indeed. He just got tagged by the OG in the air and just melted as he landed.
But that's what k1llsen was going for, though. He saw him go jumping onto the platform, get hit with a little bit of lightning gun from below, makes his jump go way too far, misses the platform, and lands on the lava. That was beautifully played by k1llsen. Oh, k1llsen can't afford to lose his first champion, though. He was able to take the round from a bit of a deficit, but you don't have to do it back-to-back for 2 rounds in a row if you can help it.
Well, the LG did just give him a huge burst of speed, but he flies face first into Sorlag. I mean, he could have got a couple of rockets there, I suppose, but I just don't think he was ready for him to be around that corner.
Still, though, k1llsen managing to spawn with his own Sorlag and has some armor. And that's a mega health now. SpermatroN going to be very tanked up now.
I think that even though it was corrupted keep, that was in fact only around 1. Change of speed and pace from what we have seen today.
Indeed, that first round did go over the 5-minute mark. k1llsen going down here. The armor gone from SpermatroN and wasted the acid as well. Looks like k1llsen doesn't have any interest in following.
I feel like the sort of premature use of the acid spit like that kind of suggests, you know, one of two things, where it's either establish space as quickly as possible because under no circumstances do you want to be chased, or it was just a preemptive panic maneuver. And I think, you know, being able to adapt on the fly or decide why was it used.
I mean, k1llsen kind of just ran in and took that armor, even though SpermatroN was really trying to control it.
Oh.
He just kind of just walked in and got it first. And SpermatroN wasn't really able to find anything to top himself up again. Going into the k1llsen next, though. He kind of prefers that k1llsen into the Sorlag. See why, but already having much better time here. Picking up the mega health and trying to make his way back to heavy armor as soon as possible, but unfortunately hits the wall. Oh, rocket through the grate in the floor. Good shot, k1llsen.
Highly respectable damage. Actually, SpermatroN going back to where he hid last time.
Well, again, that platform is like SpermatroN's worst enemy right now. k1llsen just isn't letting him play around it at all. Damage going through already, but he's going to have that totem up in a few seconds' time. Get some of that heal back in a burst.
SpermatroN, his rockets from distance, they really haven't been on the mark. Unable to get as much damage as he wants, and even though he stands on the teleporter and he gets the heavy, I mean, k1llsen doesn't need to care about that at all.
I mean, k1llsen even disregarded the damage from the totem itself there, because he was like, well, you know, I'm going to survive it, and you're not going to survive my LG. He's going to know that SpermatroN isn't going to have his Ghost Walk up. This could be a really good kill for k1llsen if he can recognize that threat. But still, though, taking a lot of damage himself. Doesn't look very likely to overcommit.
Actually, it's almost like an opposite effect of what we have seen throughout this round, where SpermatroN, he got like 2 good rockets, and that was enough to sort of force k1llsen away, where he's now not really able to be as on point as he has been throughout the round. You know, he's not been able to sort of stick to him the way he has been. It's given SpermatroN not only time to establish space and sort of get some breathing space, but he's now got Mega.
A little bit of damage, but he's going to know that he's kind of stuck up there. If he wants to get out safely, he's going to have to Ghost Walk for it, and he does. So now if k1llsen can find him over the next 40 seconds or so, he's going to be a lot better off. Looks like SpermatroN's actually committed to sticking around here, trying to deny that Mega Health. Heavy Armor probably going to beat to it. No, manages to get there, but still doesn't have the Ghost Walk. If k1llsen can get
no!
Oh, wow.
And because the Ghost Walk was used earlier, there was nothing to prevent him from taking that acid. I mean, that was actually a really well played from both players, but it was just the sheer amount of damage k1llsen was able to do on the receiving end of that teleport was just good awareness, you know, knowing he was going to be headed off and just ready to react.
I don't know if k1llsen kind of expected SpermatroN to be there to sort of contest that Heavy Armor pickup, because SpermatroN didn't just wait there and try and do damage. He actively tried to beat k1llsen to the pickup itself. But when you're a Nyx doing that, you don't have the Ghost Walk against someone like a Sorlag. You are pretty much just sitting up with a low health pool in that sort of situation. And k1llsen immediately recognized that, even though SpermatroN was able to pick it up first, he was like, well, you've still not got a lot of health, and he just bursted him down immediately. One tick of acid is all it took to kind of secure it there. Now k1llsen is one round away from taking this first map, putting himself in a much more comfortable situation and moving through to the rest of it. Also k1llsen starting with Nyx, with Anarchy this time, I should say.
I think Anarchy fits him quite well, the way he likes to sort of approach this map in particular. Very sort of hit and run style champion is Anarchy.
Heavy Armor not up for quite a while as yet though. Unfortunately SpermatroN's still there a little bit too early. But they will be spawning at the same time, so they're probably just going to trade out here.
They're going to be content doing that, especially with the sort of base health that Sorlag has. If she has max health and then the Heavy Armor, I mean, that's still unbelievably tanky. Way more tanky than most of the champions in the game, in fact.
But here's that speed, just how fast Anarchy can move around. Still though taking a lot of damage. There's the injection. Oh, but still taking a ton of damage. So getting chased, he is. SpermatroN is not content letting him get away, but runs into a single health pickup. Might have by itself kept him into this round so far with Anarchy.
Stopwatch.
And even after all that, you just go back to trading things out, one at a time.
So he's potentially getting the edge here, but just that sheer amount of armor that SpermatroN has.
k1llsen's ability to just escape these fights. Making sure that whenever he goes in, that there's somewhere he's able to escape at.
We would have known he's done a lot of damage with that nail gun, but still, got all that armor as Sorlag. So much it can really mean in the long run. And again, the Heavy Armor getting picked up.
That's 3 times in a row. And I wonder if the next play will be one of those things where k1llsen or SpermatroN decides to sort of, you know, play that chicken and go, I think you can go for it. But to be honest, having said that, he's just done so much damage. He's going to chase this one down. k1llsen is only alive within 1 HP. I mean, can he survive from this?
I'm not sure. It looks like he was actually able to. I cannot believe he was able to get out of that one alive. k1llsen's movement has just been impeccable. Oh! He still has an injection too now.
And that rocket just flew past him right there.
Heavy Armor has already been secured by SpermatroN as well, though, and that's the 4th time they've traded it power up for power up.
I was almost convinced SpermatroN was actually going to try and head him off by that Mega at that time. I mean, like, because k1llsen was so weak, he kind of had to go for that Mega.
Oh, that was
rocket!
A lot of damage.
A huge chunk. It's so insane that k1llsen has been able to turn this one around.
He is going down to the acid, but it won't die. Here's the injection. Now 78 health. A couple away from being able to tank a lot of damage in one go. Still though, the fact that k1llsen was able to turn this round around, being that much down on life.
I mean, he had 1 HP. He had 1 HP and 5 armor. I mean, like, he was dead to rights. One more tick of OG would have done it. Is he going to get the Nyx as well? He does manage to take out the second champion. I mean, his survivability in this round has been the absolute key. Insane.
Well, it's basically just been his clutch aim as well. I mean, that was completely, SpermatroN had to jump on him there. You know, when you have that aggressive Ghost Walk, even if they're ready for you, they still have to assume where you're going to reappear. You know where you're going to reappear. So in theory, you should get a little bit of damage off, even if it's just a little bit, before they actually start hitting you. But even in those situations, k1llsen is consistently getting the better of SpermatroN. Now he's stuck on this Galena for potentially a final time in this map. It hasn't really worked out too well for him so far. I think unfortunately every time Galena's on the match, it seems to be up against a Sorlag who has enough health to really care about the damage of the totems.
Well, the rounds themselves have been so back and forth. If this map goes to 3-0, I mean, It really doesn't seem like it, with how long some of these
It's always been
rounds have
3
gone.
overtimes, but the important thing is it has been a 3-0 sweep so far for k1llsen if he can take out this final frag. I mean, we said that before, k1llsen was able to make a full comeback with Nyx. Obviously with k1llsen it might be a little bit more difficult, but I'm not going to call it impossible. I kind of learned my lesson by now, the amount of players that keep proving me wrong every single time.
But now the pressure's on.
Oh, we would have seen that. Oh, I think he meant to do that. Quick jiggle of the screen, like, oops.
That's normally a dead giveaway, isn't it? And I mean, 15 seconds on the clock. He's got to take down what is likely going to be a delayed respawning Nyx that has Ghost Walk. I'm willing to call this one over, Mustard.
I mean, I would not have assumed this would have gone down to a timeout, especially considering how some of the frags and some of the fights went down, but it looks like that's what we're going to see, and that is going to be it. The timeout is triggered, and k1llsen takes the first map. One left to go, potentially, but the important thing now is that it is going to be SpermatroN's pick on the map, so what do you think we're going to see here?
It's very hard to say, because going up against someone like k1llsen, a lot of the strengths that k1llsen has in this game kind of caters itself quite nicely to multiple maps. Corrupt the Keep is just one of many maps that k1llsen is known to play really well on. And we've seen him do amazing things on Blood Covenant with both Rail and Rocket when it comes to just prediction and reaction on landing some pretty ridiculous shots on maps like that. And we've also seen him, I mean, just even last week when we saw k1llsen play, I feel like k1llsen has been on top form. To see k1llsen actually go into losers bracket, I'm going to say so early in the tournament, because I feel like k1llsen would have been one of my picks to go into, you know, winner side qualification match.
Especially after watching how he played last week too.
I mean, as of recent tournaments,
he was a man on the mission, like 100%.
Well, k1llsen, you know, he's been playing really well in things like 125 FPS, but the ESL EU Challenger Cups he's been doing super well in as well. Like, just, if there's a community tournament going, like k1llsen's in there and he's been grinding. So I think, you know, if players like Razy and k1llsen are able to prove one thing, it's that grinding reaps its rewards. You know, if we're able to sort of learn the game the way it is currently being played, like k1llsen did. Just again to remind everyone at home that conversation we had where he said, when I go home, I'm just going to learn the game for what it is and grind champions. You know, I'm going to grind Quake Champions, and that's exactly what he's doing. The next map's going to be Ruins of Sarnath, and this will actually be the first time we've seen it on stream today.
So I think this is actually be a good pick for k1llsen, even though this would have been SpermatroN's pick. k1llsen's one of his strongest champions, I think, in the whole game. It's definitely been as Anarchy. And I think that last match kind of proved that, where he was down on what seemed to be such an impossible situation to stay alive and was able to consistently get away thanks to movement, knowledge on where the pickups would be, being able to dodge effectively and juke while also being supremely accurate. I think Ruins is a great map for players like that. If you have a strong Anarchy, Ruins of Sarnath is a good map for you.
Do we see Slash? That's what I wonder. Are we going to see Slash? No, we aren't. It's going to be Anarchy instead, sticking true to his guns, and the k1llsen comes through once more as well.
I think even though Slash is a great pick for players who know that have played her a lot in the past, like Slash has been huge for k1llsen, we've seen him play a lot. Who would you replace it with?
Well, he's been known to use Slash a lot more on Blood Covenant. Like if there's one map he's likely to pick Slash on, it's probably going to be Blood Covenant, because of just, well, her movement just caters that map superbly well. But I guess maybe you would replace her with the Anarchy. I know that k1llsen's favorite champion is actually Nyx, and I think he would sort of deem Sorlag too important to replace. So I would assume Anarchy would potentially be the replacement. But
do you think you'd even swap Anarchy after how he played with Anarchy last game? I think that really is
probably
the question.
Not. Makes a lot more sense, but I mean, we have sort of 20 seconds left of this warm-up, guys, so we're going to be getting into this as soon as possible. This is a losers bracket match. Loser of this could potentially go home. If it's going to be k1llsen, it would just simply be 1-1 if he loses this map, because he's currently got that one map advantage. But I mean, he's been playing superbly well today, and I think seeing him continue this rampage would be quite interesting. But I mean, if SpermatroN can take out a real killer like k1llsen, it'll be quite a message to send going into the rest of this losers bracket.
Still though, SpermatroN is sticking with that k1llsen, so he has that confidence at the very least, that lineup, that one pick, right, that Anarchy. It definitely seems to be that Sorlag and Nyx is the core. Like, you cannot swap those under any circumstances, but the Anarchy we've seen multiple players kind of swap in and out of over the last couple of weeks. SpermatroN kind of keeping that going now with k1llsen. We know k1llsen is strong on this map. Again, teleporters are a huge part of just basic mobility, and she just denies them, especially if she can get the first frag. But if she sort of played at the back, like we tend to see, that more difficult.
Oh, he goes a bit aggressive! But he does manage to follow through with that. I mean, if that rocket didn't connect, if that rocket did connect, is the sentence I should be saying, actually, he would have been able to turn things around quite nicely with a tiny bit of health left to survive with.
He's getting chased though, hits the corner, he turns around with the gauntlet, but SpermatroN has way too much health. He's going to get the frag anyway, less than a minute in, and already k1llsen might be one frag away from losing the first round.
We tend to see these a lot more in the first round of a map than any other round. I don't know whether it's just, you know, shaking off, not rust as such, but just getting comfortable. maybe that's what we need to see. But it's always the first round of a... Oh,
wait a minute, where did he come from?
I mean, right behind him, I suppose.
And he had
messy.
1 HP. He didn't need to do that. He could have just shot with a machine gun, but he wanted to make a statement.
Well,
I will gauntlet you to death, Sorlag.
You can't...
Taste my blade.
You can't say... All right, Edgy. You can't say that the comeback isn't possible. He's just got a Mega. He's a surgeon with the rail most of the time. If he can just land a couple of good
you said
shots.
it, right? This is his favorite champion. k1llsen's favorite champion is Nyx. If there's one champion in the game, he's probably going to feel confidence to make a full comeback. It's probably this one. And taking out that Sorlag first.
That's one of my favorite angles ever. That one. I mean, no one's ever ready for it. That one drop-down rocket. Didn't quite land it, though, unfortunately. There's that one element. k1llsen is able to see when a totem of hers is destroyed, so even if it doesn't actually attack the opponent, it's going to give you data as to where they are.
I mean, even if you can see where they are, it makes you think if that's even as important in certain situations now. I mean, I think at the very least, if he's trying to stack up, then that's good data. Just like, okay, right, well, we destroyed that, which means I can pick up X, Y, Z. But in this situation, k1llsen just needs frags. You can tell he's waiting patiently. Oh, I love that. Actually. I love the fact that he listened out for the teleporter first. Huge chunk of damage, and he chases! To follow up.
The comeback begins. He needs one more frag and he's going to tie things up. That was superbly played. Just good knowledge, you know. The second he saw that rocket miss, he was able to go in for the kill. He landed that one crucial rail, knowing that if he just played it well, it was guaranteed.
There was that no hesitation. As soon as that rail connected, he was like, right, that's going to do enough. I can follow up now. It's time to go in and get the kill. And now, just like that, even though k1llsen was down 2 champions, he only had 1 left, and SpermatroN had his entire team. It's now going to be Nyx versus Nyx. k1llsen is controlling the timers on the heavy and the mega.
Oh, that's 100 damage of a rocket. I mean, and he's got the heavy armor. SpermatroN, this is a humongous deficit to come back from.
Still, though, it isn't even going to be a comeback for SpermatroN at this point. It's just going to be him managing to seize the win that he seemingly had so confidently just mere moments ago. But just as fast as he had the lead, it was lost from him. So k1llsen playing just that next level.
Small mechanical things are always worth pointing out, which we may point out later, but we're just about to have a fight taking place. k1llsen with the reappear from the shadows indeed. 3 straight frags. Great comeback right there.
But that was another one of the situations that when he saw that token damage number and he realized just how much damage he dealt, no hesitation, immediately followed, right? He did all that damage to the rocket knowing full well that SpermatroN's Ghost Walk was down. He was like, right, that connected, I'm going to Ghost Walk, I'm going to follow. He's got it.
Oh, and he gets the last acid spit. It's not going to get a kill, but it's going to force k1llsen at least to use his injection just to not die. Oh!
That, if he didn't just pick up the mega health, that would have killed him. He didn't have a speck of armor, and we know that, you know, obviously Anarchy 76 health, no armor. He will get one shot by a rail. So the fact that he picked up the mega health is the only reason he was able to survive there.
There's the heavy. No divide at all is going to really matter too much now. He's got that on deck. Tries to go in for a last-minute totem as well, but unfortunately it doesn't work out either. But starting off with Anarchy, if you can get the snowball effect, this is how fast the frags will start to rack up.
This is what we kind of expected to see from k1llsen after his performance on Anarchy last time. Sort of just keeping things going in the way that we expected them to be. The second round, ready to be a big sweep at the moment. Ghost Walk is popped. And that's going to be the armor. k1llsen. Oh, but he's still there. That was a crucial rail to, oh wow, catch some sick air, mate. But still, look how low SpermatroN is now. No armor either.
I mean, one rail and that's it. He's out.
Oh, that's going to be death. Unless he messes this up, which he might do. A lot of rockets connecting, but still. Is he hanging around? Doesn't look like it. k1llsen going to top himself back up. Doesn't want to overcommit, I think. Accidentally walk into death. She's still down here. Oh, she is.
Oh, that's it. That's likely to be it.
Oh, dear.
Guaranteed. The second he caught sight of him there, there's no Ghost Walk, nowhere to hide. It's match point for k1llsen on the verge of a 3-0. This has been a quick turnaround. I don't think k1llsen really has flipped the off switch since this map began.
I mean, try since last week. Every time we see k1llsen play over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, he has been just completely on fire. Be it through community events or even through the Dreamhack Denver qualifiers last week. I mean, the guy is seemingly unstoppable. Still, though, in this lower bracket, so we know he has had signs of a vulnerability today. Still, you know, by the way he's playing, like, this could easily be a winner's bracket match if I didn't know otherwise.
But I feel like if you're SpermatroN in this situation, you know, how do you sort of stay mentally composed enough to make this comeback? Because he has to win 3 straight rounds just to tie things up, you know, just to stay alive in the set. He'll still have an entire map to go. Like, this is a lot to factor in mentally. And being able to stay mentally composed is so crucial in a 1-versus-1 game too. You know, there's no one there to help you out. You know, you have to focus on yourself.
But SpermatroN putting a lot of faith into this k1llsen, obviously deciding to start with it this time. This is potentially showing signs of being sort of his most confident champion, or maybe he's just trying to switch it up.
Yeah, it could potentially be a last resort. He's able to stay alive a little bit longer with the totem, but he goes straight into the second one. That's very unfortunate.
But that in itself is the power of k1llsen. If you can get a few minutes to just dot those totems around the map at those key locations, just like that, your opponent might, you know, not think enough before moving towards through a corridor, through a doorway, through a teleporter, and bam, they've lost a huge chunk of health. And what's worse, the k1llsen player will know exactly where you are because they're going to see that marker.
But I think that's actually that's one of the main reasons it's likely SpermatroN has gone in for k1llsen as this final first pick. Because if k1llsen goes for Anarchy first, which was likely, because Anarchy first has been doing great things for him on this map so far, if she has those totems on the map, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to play that hit-and-run style. If he runs into a totem, a lot of work he's trying to do to stay alive gets very quickly undone.
With the amount of armor in stack that k1llsen has consistently had, the totems just haven't been as much of a threat, I think. Still 2 minutes into this one and not a lot of action taking place. I think SpermatroN really trying to be careful now, sitting back. k1llsen has found him. That's a lot of damage. That's 80 damage flat.
Kind of crazy actually how SpermatroN didn't really hear him there. But it's going to force him off heavy. I mean, once more, just allow k1llsen to control both of these crucial items. Going to consistently keep SpermatroN behind.
Oh, that missed rail could be huge. He gets that quick health pop, but quite sure. Walks through, still waiting around the corner. You can tell SpermatroN just wants him to maybe slip away, but very low on health now.
I respect the attempt of a trap, though. I mean, like, if he went around that corner and he wasn't ready, that was going to be, you know, in many ways like an uncontested rocket or some form of high damage shot. And if he got it, that was his chance at coming off better in the fight. He's going to know that k1llsen is consistently having more health than armor, so if you're taking a 1v1, it's going to be hard to win that.
Still, though, it looks like SpermatroN has been forced to use the majority of his totems just to heal himself up in between fights. So he hasn't managed to set traps or deny the area in the same way. And that full speed misses a rail, and unfortunately he is going to pay for it. And that's going to be the first round of what could, well, the first frag, I should say, of what could be the last round. SpermatroN is stuck on the Sorlag again.
I feel like using a rail that close though, in general, was a bit risky because that rail wouldn't have actually have killed k1llsen, but he still would have been stuck in between sort of downtime of the shots. k1llsen was going to get that LG trail no matter whether the rail hit or not.
Mega health picked up into another missed rail, unfortunately. Get some armor too. k1llsen very healthy right now,
especially with the injection too.
Hasn't really been pressured into using it yet.
No, not in this round.
Yeah, it's good to say not yet, because I have no doubt we'll see it soon enough. Still, though, he is controlling Mega and Heavy again, and that's just been such a defining factor of this match. It's just SpermatroN just hasn't had the ability to stack up in the same way. I think if he loses Sorlag now before taking out Anarchy, he will be in a lot of trouble.
1 minute warning. k1llsen can play the timeout if he wants to. If there's one champion in the game that's going to be able to put distance between you and them as quickly as possible, it's going to be Anarchy.
I mean, this is a really bad situation for SpermatroN to be in. He's always down on life. He's losing out the damage in these trades. He hasn't got control over the power-ups in the same way. He hasn't got his ability because he keeps, unfortunately, missing it because he's just being duped really well by k1llsen. k1llsen's just shutting him down completely. And
I mean, he's running out of time.
He has to do so for 30 seconds. 30 seconds
running out of time. 30 seconds, I mean 25 before I can even finish saying that. He has to dedicate to a fight, and unfortunately was not able to get anything going. He's got 20 seconds left, 15. Catches him on the ghost walk, but really I'm pretty ready to say that's going to be all she wrote. k1llsen will be moving on in this bracket. He's got an injection too. This is pretty much game over.
Even if k1llsen dies,
oh, he's out. He's out of there.
Right now. Ghost walk, delay the respawn, and that's it.
Well, that's one way to finish a match. I mean, to be fair, victory there was guaranteed. There was nothing k1llsen was going to do. I was saying, there was nothing k1llsen was going to really sort of be able to do that was going to prevent that from being guaranteed. So, I mean, he's out of there. He was going to lose anyway. GG, well played. Maybe we'll see you next time. But, I mean, k1llsen playing as well as always, and we'll see him later on in this bracket.
I mean, k1llsen, I mean, what can we say about the way he's playing that we haven't already said 100 times? He is playing really well for a start, as a bit of an understatement, but has been doing so for so long now. You know, weeks through it, various tournaments, community, Dreamhack Denver qualifiers, Dreamhack Winter qualifiers today, and like you said, right, ever since QuakeCon, ever since the Quake World Championships, he has been dead set on just grinding the game and playing the game for what it is at that high level. And now he's playing the meta, he's playing the best champions in the game, and he's playing them really well. And now I don't think it's any surprise to have someone with his experience just being this dominant against opponent after opponent after opponent.
But I mean, that was losers bracket action. We have more maxes coming up in due time, actually. Just been informed by our production guys. Toxic versus k1llsen is the next match. That is going to be ridiculous. I am very excited to see it. We're going